Good evening, viewers. Thank you again for joining us. We are here to continue with the prose portion of the book entitled The Sacraments of Eternity. Let us begin. Confessions. Confessions and testimonies. Lyudmila S. My name is Lyudmila. There was nothing special about my upbringing. I had the same ordinary life as the others, even though I was brought up by my grandparents until I was 18 years old. From my early childhood, I was often taken to church, and when I became older, I realized that even when people are praying, they do not benefit much from it. I saw all the injustice, envy, and lies, and it was really hard to comprehend it all. After high school, I wanted to become a nun, as I believed it would be the place where my soul would find tranquility and solitude. My life kept me in my place. Upon graduation, I decided to get married. I tried to find interesting people to talk to and to learn something new. Life gave me such people, but very few, and they were mostly interested in material things. Since my childhood, I have been dreaming of living by the sea to enjoy it in every day. I have always had faith in God, and it was leading me through my life. I knew that something great and wonderful was going to happen. I felt it by my heart. At times, this feeling was overwhelming. It was overwhelming to my soul. I was not afraid of challenges along my path. Eager to know more, along with my friend, I started visiting different spiritual centers. One of them was Radostia, the place where you were proposed not to eat meat and advised to bathe in the ice hole during frost. All of the mentioned above helped in the first stage. The body became stronger and the health improved. But after some time, illness came back. The heart told me that this is not what I wanted, and I needed to keep looking. In Anastasia Club, we were reading spiritual literature, discussing our life problems. Talking to people was exciting. At the beginning of June 2001, my friend invited me to Natalia. She told with fascination that Natalia was a clairvoyant, and she had revealed her a lot about my friend's past and her future. I agreed to go along. although I felt no particular desire to do that. When we entered the apartment where Natalia and Stas usually had visitors, I was very cautious at first, but inside I felt peace and warmth. I immediately understood that I just found what I had been seeking my entire life. I realized that I found the truth of the meaning of life, where you can talk about everything. Back then, I did not understand why, but I felt so free and easy, comfortable and relaxed every time I came to Stas and Natalia. During the 6th treatment session, I saw the eye of God. After 7th treatment session, I began to see visions through which saints and cosmos gave me the knowledge. By the end of June 2001, I started to receive messages from cosmos. I was attracted to Stas and Natalia as if by a magnet. I could listen to the stories of their own experience, how they walked their paths. It was fascinating. When I had completed my treatment, Natalia gave me her book of poems, Revival of Love. This book has miraculous power. If you have an unpleasant meeting, you take this book with you. It turns out that the person goes away or becomes kind and tender. Things were happening so quickly, and people became different. To sleep well, I put the book under a pillow and saw beautiful dreams. Sometimes I got up in the morning with a feeling that I was flying in the other world. We stayed up late at Stas and Natalia's place. Sometimes we'd walk along the city discussing how people could help themselves. When the Center of Health and Honor was founded, we began to meet there once a week. Stas spoke much about evolution, laws, and crystals of the Creator. He talked about the techniques of working with a vice. Many began to receive messages from the cosmos. Some began to write poetry. Marina, an 11-year-old girl, was gifted with clairvoyance and clairgnosis by cosmos. She often performed in front of a large audience where everyone was mesmerized by her. Such information I could not only get in the center, where I finally found the answers to many questions to my life. Life became calmer and more natural. Indifference and unsolved problems were fading away. At the end of October, Stanislav announced about the departure to the Seychelles. People got panicked. They would have to leave their material benefits. I had no doubts and immediately decided to go to the Seychelles with my son. My friends persuaded me to stay, but my decision was firm. Natalia and Stanislav always helped my son and me. Together, we overcame many of life's challenges. Boarding to the airplane to the Seychelles, I felt the sense of freedom. And as long as we were flying away, I was feeling lighter and lighter and lighter, as if the burdens were dropping off my shoulders. The next morning at the Seychelles, I woke up and felt at home, although it was an unknown foreign country. Nevertheless, I felt at home. My senses did not betray me, as it was a real earthly paradise of Father. After a year and a half in the Seychelles, I felt many changes in my consciousness. Stanislav worked a lot with me, talked about healing. I had a long flight with life principles that were built up by my life. During that time, I struggled with vices, which, like thorns, were coming out of me and making me restless. Stanislav and Natalia helped me to get rid of them with love, tenderness, and a kind piece of advice. They peacefully talked to me without criticism or blame, explained and shared their experiences. They showed how to live in the Father's family in peace and harmony. I cried a lot, and my soul was cleansing. In the moments of conscious awakening, I contemplated about the deeds I would need to carry out and the lessons given by Cosmos that I would have to learn. Stanislav and Natalia taught me to love as a human is able to love. I realized that love is one and it either exists or not. I didn't have such a love. It was lost, torn into pieces in the world where I used to live. Now, working in the center, I understood all my significance. I see this love in helping people. We don't advertise what we do, but people keep coming for treatment. Through our hands, the cosmos transfers its energy of great love for people who became happier after healing sessions and pleased with the results. I see my significance in the fact that I can contribute to the creation of the cosmos. For all this time, I have been learning a lot, gaining experiences from everything. I am very grateful to two great people, two teachers, Stanislav and Natalia. I take a deep bow for your exceptional patience, for your overwhelming love, your joy that both of you gave to me. Most importantly, I thank you for my life, as you've always helped me survive in the hour of need. I thank God and all the saints for my being in the center of the world, in the center of all the important events and the significant creations on Mother Earth. I express gratitude to my teachers as they taught me to forgive. It was tough. The vice of offense is one of the most difficult to work with. First, we should think through, accept, understand, and realize everything. Forgiveness is the central meaning of life. Having overcome all the fears and pain, you start to realize that you can just let it go. This is what it means to forgive. It all means to forgive. I want to continue the story of my path. I left the source together with my son because we had to continue his studies. We spent some time in Moscow and went to St. Petersburg to Anna. We shared the apartment and both were healing. Stas and Natalia sent us healthful products and told us what they mean. I asked Saint Pantaleon about these products, and the saint answered that the products help people and support them during diseases. We began selling health-giving products, and our clients at times were asking us questions about the meaning of life. We provided answers to all of them. Excuse me, one moment. Forgive me. We continue. We lived in the apartment rented for us by Stanislav and Natalia. What I mean, my teachers have always stayed in touch with me. We communicate via Skype, solved any problems that arose. It gave me a chance to work out other vices that kept coming out of my consciousness. Stanislav and Natalia always helped to overcome it. One day, they told us that we became mature enough to live on without advice. Anna got panicked. We won't be able to live on our own. Though, gradually, the fear faded away and everything settled down. We began to live with all the skills and knowledge that helped us to follow the path of Father. Staying next to Anna, I learned to resist envy and to defend my point of view. These all were the lessons of my entire life. I learned to make a firm decision. It gave me confidence and strengthened my spirit. Since childhood, I suffered from the vice of self-chastising, which was chasing me for all my life. I finally got rid of it with the help of my teachers. Some years ago, I would blame everything around. Now, I monitor my situation. I can stop myself and others. I can immediately change the topic. I met Elvira Teskova and Lyudmila Lukinova. We moved to Gachina, to a house that three of us shared. Stanislav and Natalia invited us to come and visit them in the USA. We met many wonderful people there, Stanislav and Natalia kept working with Elvira and me. They gave all their time to us, surrounded us with care and attention. From the day we met, my teachers have always been helpful and heartfelt. They shared everything they had with no hesitation and no regret. All the energy they received, they were giving further to people. And that is the crucial point in their teaching. The mentioned period is short, but filled with precious memories. So much is experienced. I consider my life began on the day that I met Stanislav and Natalia. That day when my life turned upside down. The route of my path changed. It became anew. My life transformed, and my mind gradually purified. I'm aware I am different now, and I am grateful to all my tireless and beloved teachers and all the saints who helped and led and supported me in my earthly path. I bow to the Heavenly Father for the belief in me and salvation from the darkness. The only thing I know for sure, goodness, joy, harmony, happiness, and love do exist. Faith and hope always. They always help and save in an hour of need. I have one dream. Let most people hear us. And let them open their eyes and soul, unlock their hearts. Let them hear the call of all of the cosmos, offering salvation to all of us in the name of joy and happiness, in the name of eternal life and love. In the name of the salvation of humankind on earth. Lyudmila S. Anna R. Everyone has their path towards God. I have mine as well. I was a typical Soviet child whose parents were not very religious. I was not baptized in my childhood. I lived to my adulthood caring only about a day-to-day life. I had a husband, 3 children, and a job. But my soul felt lonely. dissatisfied with the days and years passing by. I had a feeling that I was living my life as it was a bad dream. And then I would wake up to a new, real life. I perfectly understood how difficult, almost impossible it was to change something in my life. I used to explain to myself that my subconscious was seeking something beautiful. I was never a dreamer as a child. A knight in shining armor, some miracle which may dramatically change my life, and all that was not my thing. I liked reading books ever since I was a child, but I was never interested in spiritual literature until the day I got sick. My heart told me to go to church and get baptized without any longer doubts about the existence of God. In June 2001, I was invited to visit an event which I thought at first to be a regular meeting of like-minded people. This meeting, it amazed me, turned my whole life around. That's how I met Stas and Natalia. They were so different from the people I knew so far, although in general, I was not very social. They weren't talking about mundane things, but only about higher consciousness, God, cosmos, and the universe, as if they were close, right next to us. More and more visitors came wishing to talk to these unique people. The apartment where Stas and Natalia was living became too small for everybody. We began to gather once a week in the classroom of one of the city universities. That was how the Center of Health and Honor appeared. Over 200 people joined the new center. Many started receiving information through channeling, just like Stas and Natalia. People who had not written a single line in their entire life suddenly began to write beautiful poems. Those who could not speak, started to speak in front of a large audience as if they had been doing it their entire life. Marina, 11-year-old girl, acted like a wise and experienced person. She was given the gift of clairvoyance. We all passed through wise and loving hearts of Stas and Natalia. I mean, through the process of purification. A good many people recovered from the illnesses. I had acute bronchitis at that time and started taking antibiotics. They were able to cure me with just one session, removed all the symptoms by only touching my chest. This is how I got to know energy therapy. Visiting the center for me was like being a part of a miracle, a fairy tale. I did not want to get back to gray days afterward. Leaving the center for Seychelles was perceived by me as a fairy tale to which didn't come true. Natalia and Stanislav talked about this very confidentially, since this information had been received from Father. They were enthusiastically persuading everyone to leave the routine, mundane problems to devote themselves to the service the way they did. They invited everybody to join their mission to the beautiful faraway land, to join the most wonderful path of life which could be, to work for the name of all of humankind, in the name of Father. All of us, as if going hand in hand, showed complete willingness to do what our teachers called us for. But when it came to particular actions, people found many convincing reasons to stay. Everyone is free to live the life they want to. Dear readers, we will pause and resume this tomorrow in our next episode. We will continue with the confessions and testimony of Anna R. Thank you for joining us this evening. Take care and God bless.